Welcome back to another episode of Life with Lam. Today I'm here with Stephen Nguyen. You want to say hi?
Hi.
How you going, mate? How was your day?
I'm good. Today was very amazing. I woke up, went to Tradson to spend some of my commission money.
Oh, are we gonna drop the figures? You don't have to.
Okay. No, I feel comfortable with it. Because I hadn't spent too much in a while, and I spent 400 at ADLV. But like some of that was for a friend, so that's all good. And after that, I just had oysters actually.
Yum. I did see that on your close friends.
Yeah, and something I found out actually was that oysters were like something that riled you up. You know, like
is it like a sex food? Like
deadass. Like
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I was talking to my friend about it, and he was like, "Oh, fun fact," and I'm like, "Okay."
How do you just know that? Like, do you just gain sex points?
Yeah. No, we were on the topic of dates.
Oh, cute.
And I was like, "Oh, well, what's your ideal date?" And this friend of mine was like, "Oh yeah, I'd take her to a seafood market and take her to get oysters." And I'm like, oysters? That's a bit particular.
And then he's onto something.
Yeah, and then he explained why, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Smart man. He's done his research, done his homework. Anyway, welcome to season 5. Hopefully the video is working, because season 4 took a plummet until the very end where we finally got our shit together, Stephen. Finally.
Yes, sir.
Let me just double check, actually. No, we didn't. Okay, wait. There we go. We're back. I'm not even going to edit this because we're still learning. Season 5 of this podcast, so we're still learning. I just turned it on airplane mode, but we're still recording. Anyway, actually, before I start, look at my hair. Look at my hair, friends.
Yeah.
Well, honest thoughts.
Honest thoughts. Oh, I told you my honest thought when I first saw it. It's amazing. It suits you, like 100%.
Thank you very much.
Handsome, very handsome.
Funny story, and then we'll get into your podcast because this is Life with Lam interview. Friends of all kinds and all different backgrounds and cultures and okay. Anyway, I'll stop bullshitting. Cost me $160 from Bieber Academy. Look, a lot of money. A few people that I told, especially girls who like normally get their hair dyed, they're like, "Geez, that's like a bit of money, bit expensive." And I was like, "Okay, like I didn't know. This is my first time bleaching my hair." But I made friends with my barber. I'm gonna DM him. And I'm hopefully going to get him on the podcast. Don't you think that'd be sick? Like,
yeah, I think that'd be hella sick.
What I want to know about barbers?
Yeah.
Like, how do they create like conversation for like hours on end?
Oh yeah, that 100%.
He's just taking out the pop filter, but it's okay.
My bad.
Yeah, they just don't stop talking, and it's like, how do you do that? You must like need to wake up and have like lots of energy, you know. Anyway, cost me $160. Bleach my hair. I actually got chemical burning, called up Bieber, and look, Issika, my girlfriend, she was like, "Babe, you have to call them, otherwise like it's not good. You paid all this money to get burnt." And then I called them. I was like, "Hey, like, I was like the girl that bleached my hair was so nice, but like my head hurt."
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, look, the service is really good, but you fucked up my hair. Can you check it?" Anyway, long story short, bitched it. Didn't get my money's worth. Sorry, Issika, for disappointing you. Bit of a Karen moment from her, but just gotta get your money's worth.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about me. Stephen, talk to us about yourself.
Oh yeah.
Who are you? What are you about?
Yeah, I'm 19 years old. I'm at the University of Melbourne studying commerce, thinking of majoring in marketing and management, but I might move to arts just because I like creative writing.
Oh damn! I did not know this.
Yeah, like it was a recent thought because I did more like research into commerce and like talked to a couple of friends that have been through their whole journey and like I've heard mixed things. Like I've heard some people really make it and they're really happy with their corporate job and whatnot. But I've also heard that other side of like just being fucking depressed behind a desk. So I'm like,
that's what you want to hear.
Yeah, so I'm like, ooh, So yeah, but I think creative writing is always something I could pick up later on. So right now I'm just running it through with marketing and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. Actually, this is news to me as well because I thought we were going to be marketing manager. So it's a bit sad, but
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
we still got to line our subjects together, hey?
yeah, facts.
Yeah,
We got
did I?
it for
Sem
study
one.
dates.
Oh, and
So,
100%, yeah, study dates
No
as well.
collision.
Yeah, no, never. that's never happened. That's
Please don't listen to this if you're a Melbourne Uni tutor. Or
it's just like stop ones, like
yeah, literally someone's just monitoring Life with Lam. So anyway, so yeah, what do you do? I guess like.
Oh yeah, what do I do? I'm a huge reader, so a book I'm reading right now is 101 essays that will change the way you think. That one's like, it was really eye opening at the start, and nowadays I just read one chapter like every few days, like just to run it through it, because it's like the chapters are essays, so and they just offer different perspectives.
In terms of what, like what do they vary in topic, or is
Yeah,
it sort of like
100%.
more self-help?
Yeah, they do vary in topic. They're like one of the topics is like 10 misunderstandings we have about emotions, like human emotions, and that was just talking about like how our emotions aren't like reality and factual, you know, like they could almost feel so true, but you've always got to like question them a bit more, and yeah, that was just something that I didn't know, and that changed my perspective a lot. Yeah.
So I guess on that sounds more like self-help sort of topics.
Yeah.
I myself am reading the Motivation Manifesto.
Mm.
Look, it's my New Year's resolution was to read a few pages a day. Mate, like I've been very flat out doing summer intensive, working a lot. But I find with the general feedback from self-help books and from my summer intensive, actually, I was doing well-being and performance, like Wham Booster, but like I found it so interesting because they talked about how self-help books can be very rigid, and like I totally agree. But if you can look past that and sort of pick and choose which parts of the book that you really resonate with and apply that to your life, I've like learned so much.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
And do you feel the same way with reading? Like, do you take everything in for what it is, or do you feel like you have that perspective and ability to shift your opinions surrounding it and I guess make your own opinion out of it?
yeah, like definitely making my own opinion is something that I find myself doing a lot more, because as I read different self-help books, like they'll legit tell me different things. I'm like, okay, I'll form my own opinion based off like the wisdom that you've given me. But like picking and choosing definitely is something that has changed the way I read books. Actually, I was watching this YouTuber talk about reading books, and they were just like, you've got to kind of shift your mindset from, you don't need to complete the entire book, or you don't gotta like go from page 1 to page 365 or something like that,
And have literally everything.
Yeah.
Like, and regurgitate everything back, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. Just read the chapters that you're interested in and get that like mental fulfillment, get that mental joy, and move on to the next book. Because like some chapters in these self-help books just might not align to you. Like there was chapters in Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life that went into family a lot more, and I was just like, I don't relate to this. I'm like 17 and I'm reading this, and I'm like, I haven't thought of that at all. And so nowadays I pick up self-help books. I look at the chapters that I feel like I'm interested in, even slightly, and I'll just read those. And then, you know, it might be like 2 chapters from a 12 chapter book, and I'll read those and I'll just move on.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like in this modern day and era, like TikTok's a thing, our attention span's getting a lot shorter, and I think the main reason why people just stop reading books in general, like and with myself in particular, like I had that whole New Year's resolution to read more and like all that stuff, and I did it, I hammered at it, and then it just like lulled a little bit, and then it just dissipated. And I think it's because of the stimuli that like social media brings to life and how it's shortened our attention span. So I think that's a really good tip. If you sort of just read the contents page and be like, hey, like, oh, family, oh, I'm a bit young, maybe not, maybe I'll skip past it, it's a bit deep, those sorts of things, and like having the maturity to be able to decipher through and find what suits you is a bit better.
Yeah,
I think that's
100%.
And like going even further, sorry, I'm going in a rabbit hole already and we're 10 minutes in.
No, that's fine.
I think like subconsciously we do that with our friends. Like if you're not fucking with someone, like, you'll subconsciously just divert your attention away and sort of just slip away bit by bit. But whereas with other people, you might just gravitate more towards them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
100%.
Do you find that the same way, or?
Yeah. Like naturally, like I've felt that. I used to have this really really close friend, and we've been solid friends throughout like high school, like year 7. Like, he's my longest friend actually.
That's a long friendship.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've heard other friendships like from other mates, and they're like, oh yeah, I've been friends with this guy for like since prep, and I'm like, wow, that's super long. For me, since year 7's the longest I've had, and we've been through, like, we went to the same tutor together, like multiple tutor places we've been just gone together, and we just drifted actually in uni, like towards first year or second year, and that was just like what I'm thinking, like the reason why is just because we have like different personalities, you know, like different values, different kind of like jokes we tell, and like stuff that we do like to enjoy ourselves is like really different.
Just to slip in, did you go to the same school?
We did go to the same high school. So from year 7 to year 9 we did, and then I moved high schools. So yeah.
And I guess the 3 years of being friends, like, you develop this sort of friendship, and I say that with quotation marks. If you're watching the video, in quotation marks, because I think, and like I've said before in my podcasts, like, high school puts you in this simulation where you're sort of like forced to adapt and then believe that that's your new normal, because you're there 5 days a week, 9 to 3, every single day. So if you're with this person and you feel like they're your close friend, then I don't know. Like, sometimes you don't know whether it's real or not. Yeah, and like, it's so philosophical, and like maybe even like really bad as well. And I'm not saying don't trust your friends, but I don't know. I just really have this ick with high school.
Yeah, no, I definitely prefer uni so much more. Like high school, like they kind of become almost integrated in your routine, if you could say that. And it's not, it doesn't sound good, but it's like don't get me wrong, he's still a good friend and we're still on good terms. But with university, what I like a lot more is that you can pick and choose who you're friends with, because it's so much more diverse. You don't see them every day. You've got tutorials together, but it's really up to you on whether you want to continue that friendship outside, you know.
For sure. And it's a really freeing like piece of knowledge that you do acquire throughout uni, and I think it's so important that after high school you understand that that's normal and that can happen, and you shouldn't be upset by it, and it's not like you're like on shit terms with people. It's just like people grow apart. Yeah, that sort of thing.
And it just happens naturally.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I've created a Google form for any guests that want to hop on the pod. Obviously, you don't have to completely fill it out. I might create a new one where it's like, oh, what social media do you want me to promote? But we've compiled a list of topics. You've got number 1 as making friends. Do you want to dive deep into that one? I feel like we can both talk about this one. You've mentioned here that you've got an recent awkward switch off.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, before that, I'll brush like briefly on emotions, because I'm on Accutane.
You do have that.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. Mate, the form's so shit. I've got it all here and I can't even read off, and that was one of the shittest transitions ever. But please, you've hopped on Accutane recently. Talk to us about that.
Yeah. So I've hopped on Accutane, and that was mainly to treat like a lot of back scars that I had. So I used to have acne on my back, but that's just faded into scars now. And I've also got some on my face. It's not like as bad as like other people that have taken Accutane, but I kind of like have tried like different skincare routines, you know. I'm trying like The Ordinary and like La Porsche something. I'm gonna get slandered for that pronunciation.
It's okay. You're investing in your skincare, and I feel like men should do that more often.
Yeah, dead ass. Yeah, like this is a side topic, but I actually remember this is not skincare, but more like makeup. I used to wear like eyeliner to like make my eyes bigger. Yeah, dead ass. But anyways, back on the Accutane thing. I started taking Accutane, and before I started taking Accutane, I actually remember like my life was like going pretty well, you know, like I was like happy, I was like going out with friends, like having a blast, you know, like genuinely every day would be like sunshine and rainbows. As cliche as that sounds, like
We love to see it.
I would just like, yeah, like school was going well as well, family was going well, and then like I started taking these pills, and I'm like, well, it doesn't affect everyone. So I'm like, only if your family's had a history of depression will it really have a drastic effect. And I'm like, all right, it should be fine. Like, and then 2 weeks through it, I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel a bit shittier. Like, and the circumstances around me didn't really change. I just started feeling like more numb, like more tired, like moments of like emotionless, and I'm like, this is placebo effect, right? I'm like, I'm tripping here, right? And then as you go on, it starts to get worse, definitely. And I found myself like a lot more sensitive, actually, to little things that my friends did, and I'd be like, I just sometimes like, yo, no.
Yeah, right. And is because Accutane, you're putting hormones into your body to fight the acne. Is that how I'm a commerce student, so
I think it messes with your hormones.
It must do something with your hormones, because that's like the first reason as to why you might break out. Do you have any specific examples of when you were sort of like, I don't want to say butt hurt because it's just like not appropriate, but I guess you felt a bit hurt from something?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Like recently, that was the awkward moment I had when I was making friends. Yeah, so me and my friend were at this communal area for an apartment, and we were just like hanging around, like playing table tennis, playing pool, because there's a pool table and a table tennis table at this communal area. And so these two people joined us, and and I'm like, if they're watching this podcast, like, I'm so sorry. I was so cold. So what happened was, yeah, they joined us for pool, and one of them, the girl, didn't want to play, so it was just 3 guys playing. And I guess like I didn't really feel it, but I think the guy that was with that girl felt like there was an air of like just wanting to impress this person, because he was with her.
So the guy that you've met,
yeah,
the new guy
that
came with the girl,
yeah,
has some sort of like macho. Ooh,
yeah, it seemed that way.
I'm big gorilla.
Yeah, it definitely seemed that way.
Yeah,
it seemed that way.
Okay, I love when you can see that in someone. I don't know, just something about it. Just, I'm like, you're desperate.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you telling these jokes in this way?
Was he making like?
Yeah, it was like this is something I dislike. Like, all right, I'm all for banter, right? Like, especially for close friends, like banter is something that like I enjoy as much as anyone else. And even if you've been friends for like just a month or less. But I feel like the first time when you're meeting someone, like, unless the vibes are there, unless the vibes are certainly there, like everyth's popping off.
You've read the room correctly.
Yeah. If you've read the room correctly, everything's popping off, then yeah, have some banter. Like, it's chill. Like, you've gotten to that point. But when it's a bit quiet, right? No music's playing, and you're just in that room, you know, like, maybe, you know, like, try and ease yourself into that friendship a bit more before you like, that was such a shit ball that you just pocketed.
Oh, so it's like the classic. Oh, mate, that was so bad.
Yeah,
I could do so much better. Fuck.
Yeah, I was like, I forgot my turn, and he was like, I feel like you're taking all of your mates' turns, you know, and like just little like snarky remarks.
Like, yep.
That he tried to like play off as a joke. So I was like, yo, I'm not. Like, where is this coming from?
Nah, just let this man's impress the girl, you know? Fuck.
Yeah, so but what I was doing actually was I was just like, I don't know if this was Accutane or I just didn't like this guy, but I was just like, I don't know which of them.
Probably both.
yeah, it was both. Yeah. But I was like cold that night. I was like, I remember, like, well, firstly, I didn't want to talk to like I talked to the girl there, but I didn't like go out of my way to do it, you know, because I didn't want to like threaten him or anything like that.
At that point, if they're like making those jokes and like sort of doing like the sneaky like looking at the girl like after he makes the jokes to see if there's a reaction, I feel like if you go and talk to that girl,
I'm gonna get
someone's heart's gonna get like a bit twingy, you know,
Yeah.
like they're very insecure at that point. I don't know. That's just me though.
Yeah, 100%. Like, so I just took a step back and like, I just like, this is so awkward because usually I'm like, I like to think that I'm more like receptive to making friends and like going out there asking them like, oh, like, what do you do? And like, what subjects are you taking? And like, you know, like, what are your interests and all that? But dead ass you, I was just like on my phone. I was just like standing on like, you know, that round table in the corner.
Yeah.
So I was just like leaning against that and like I was just on my phone. It was the most sad thing because more people actually joined us. More like two other people joined us. So it was a group of 6, and then I was like the only guy that was like, I don't want to fuck with you guys.
Fair enough. I guess. Nah. That's a fair enough turn off. You know.
Yeah.
Who has
I
the
was so
confidence
gloomy.
to like I think I banter a lot, but there is a definite fine line between like insulting someone who you first met and like bantering.
Yeah, deadass. Yeah.
Like,
even like put down jokes, bro. Like I don't fuck with put down jokes.
Look, I'm a culprit to it. Sometimes I put people down for like it's not intrinsic gain. It's definitely extrinsic. It's not amountable to anything. It doesn't make me a better person. In fact, it makes me worse, and it actually puts other people down as well. And I need to be more aware of it, and just shut up. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say it.
Yeah,
I think that's like a motto I've taken on more recently. Like, don't fucking say it.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless it's like they're attacking you or something, and you need to sort of just like stand up for yourself. Don't say it.
Yeah.
That's probably the only like situation that I can think of where you should like stand up for yourself, I guess.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm all for standing up for myself, and I've had my fair share of, like, just direct confrontations in high school.
Oh, shit,
like, I
man.
just remember, this just reminds me of this time, like, this girl was just, like, attacking me for no reason, and, like, I think it was recess, and this is year 10, so, like, no one's and it was a new school, actually. Like, a new cohort, because, you enter, like, I'll just name drop my high school, like, John Monash. You enter John Monash Science School in year 10. And by the way, like, this is no way representative of John Monash culture. This might just be like moody Steven, okay?
I love how you're like trying to maintain the goodwill of the school.
Yeah, because the school is good. I was just a bit too confrontational.
Year 10 is like that year where you're like,
Shit goes down year 10.
Yeah, shit does go down in year 10.
So what happened? Yeah, she was like making these snarky remarks, and I just we had science class next class, and I walked up to her science like kind of table, like, and her friends were sitting around it, and I was just like, I didn't like what you said.
That's big in year 10. That's fucking huge.
That was like the talking point of lunch. Everyone's talking about lunch. Did you hear Steven?
Did you hear Steven? He didn't like what that girl said.
Yeah, I told her straight to her face. I was like,
that's fucking ballsy.
I didn't appreciate what you said. And then she was just like she was like shocked, right? Because like who
the fuck in year 10 expects that? Exactly. I would not. I would just be like, fuck, I hate that guy so much. Like literally on the other side of like the school or something.
Yeah. Like she was, but at the table she was like, oh, I'm so sorry, and that, and I was like, okay, just don't do it again. And then I walked off.
Fuck.
But I felt
that's badass.
Dude, the adrenaline was like running through me, bro. I was like, I felt like a badass. I was like, slam dunk.
Yeah, literally in year 10. That's my confrontation. Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's ballsy. I respect that. And I feel like as I've gotten older, and I'm sure with you as well, confrontation should not be avoided.
Yeah.
You shouldn't avoid it. Of course, don't bring it up at every possible opportunity, but there's always room for improvement with everyone, whether it be a relationship, a friendship, family. And yeah, some people might take it differently. I know a lot of people who don't take feedback too well. I was like that myself, but once you start hearing it and like other people in your friendship group start doing it as well, I think you become a much better person because of it. Because if you're doing something that's upsetting other people, and they don't call you out for it, they're just gonna leave you, and then you're confused. But if you call people out, it doesn't have to be hostile. You can just be like what you said. I don't like what you did. Like those I don't like what you did. Like 5 words, 6 words. I can't count. Like they mean a lot to people as well, and they actually take it on board. So good on you for doing that.
Yeah, thank you. 100%. I've been on the receiving end of it too, and
Yeah,
it's,
same.
It's life changing.
It is life changing.
It's amazing. I love it.
I love feedback.
I don't seek it. I don't seek to get criticized, but when it does come, I appreciate it immensely.
No one does. We're all human. Like no one is built there saying yes. Fuck me up.
No, that'd be
obliterate me. Like no one.
Unless you've got a king for it, hey.
No one in their right mind would sit there and like want that feedback, but it happens all the time if you think about it. Like work, like in a sporting environment, whether like you're doing a bench press, like oh hey, like your form was shit. Here's how you do it. Like confrontation's so good, and I think it's just like the route for growth as well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But yeah, that was your switch off.
That was my switch off.
This guy just trying to macho you.
Yeah, just trying to macho me for no reason. I'm like, because I think I made it quite clear that I was not into his girl. And I was legit like just talking to the boys, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're quite handsome, Steven. So a bit eye catching. She might have wanted a smoochy smooch at the end of the pool game.
Yeah, like he yeah, like I'm over the situation now. It was it's actually pretty awkward on the train ride because it wasn't like when he left. It was me, my friend, and the girl. Right?
Ooh,
and
that's dangerous.
We were just on the tram, and my friend, he's really charismatic. He's a really charismatic guy. Really easy to talk to. So he was talking to that girl, and they were like sitting face to face. But since me and my friend were like sitting beside each other, it like you know, like it was almost as if she was talking to the both of us. But I was so mute. I was so like
you're still turned off, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like on my phone, like straight, like deadpan face, like so, like you
thought like you had murder on your mind or some shit.
She probably thought I was like some depressed kid or something.
It's
like,
Accutane.
Yeah, but
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, that's the wrong way to make friends. Have you got like a right way or like?
Oh, I used to think I did. Like the way I approached it.
Like used to approach it. Hey.
Yeah, it was how do I like? I would just like approach people and like start talking about what we had in common, and that's how I'd like ease into it. But ever since high school, like, cause high school, like, it's I think it's easier to make friends. Maybe like maybe that was cause when we were in high school, like, not too much COVID, but in uni I think it's a lot harder now, cause not only do you have COVID going on where you have to be online, but like any chance you get friends is mainly from tutorials, I feel.
I can definitely relate. That, and also people might already know each other.
Yeah,
and
mutuals, 100%.
And you're finding yourself sort of trying to like squeeze in, hey, can I come to like your Friday night drinks or something? Like,
yeah.
And trust it, like all the new friends that I've met, they have their own circles. I'm aware of that. They have their own friends to hang out with, and sometimes you just have to accept that. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just it like you said, it's a lot easier to make friends in high school, but that's probably because you're situated at that place and you sort of have to make friends. And as humans, you're like, fuck, I can't be alone. I can't be alone. Hey.
I had a friend who entered our high school, like John Monash, like in year 11, and they were I don't know why they had this mindset. Maybe because it was a science school and like you had to sit an entrance exam, and it was like for I don't know, like kids that wanted to do well, I guess. And this person just told me, I'm not gonna make any friends. They told me that. I'm like, wait, what do you mean? And then they were like, I'm just gonna sit in a classroom and just study like like recess and lunch. And I'm like, oh shit. And this is me saying oh shit, because I need to spend some recess and lunches like studying.
I think it's necessary though. That's definitely necessary.
Yeah,
like to study.
Like I think like I did it because like out of necessity, and maybe like I want to do well in a particular test. But if you're gonna spend all your lunches and recesses just studying and not making a purpose not to make friends, I was like, hey, that's a bit dicey.
It is a bit dicey,
like,
hey.
like you need friends, like 100%,
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
yeah.
And this is a good segue into our next topic, because how do you maintain those friendships?
Oh yeah, maintaining friendships is difficult. I actually like, okay, my close circle of friends is like 4 people. And I'm just gonna name drop without last name dropping, if that's alright.
Go ahead.
Like Jen, Joanna, and Max, and 2 of them have just left. Like one of them's yet to leave, but like 2 of them are going to leave, and one's just gone to Brisbane to study, because they got a university offer, right? And they're gonna live there because their family's over there.
Ah, okay.
And the other one is gonna go to exchange to China for a year, and I'm like, this is half my close friend group. I've got like, yo, you know. And so maintaining friends is like, there's the aspect you can't control in where they just leave the geographic region or
yes,
whatever.
and hence your situation as well. Yep.
Yeah, and then there's other situations where like maintaining these friendships becomes like an aspect of like how much should you like contact this person, you know, like because you don't want to be too clingy, but at the same time you don't want to be too distant. So it's like something that I've actually always wondered about, like how do you maintain your friendships?
Mate, I couldn't tell you. And more recently, actually, I find that I don't go on Snapchat as often. I feel like, and this is controversial because so many people use Snapchat. So many people contact on Snapchat because it's just quick, it's accessible, easy to use. But at the same time, if you think about it, you're just sending photos of your face to each other. Sometimes there's conversation there, don't get me wrong, but I found myself just sending photos to people. And like I thrive for genuine connections and talking to people just like this, hence the podcast.
Yes, sir.
But when it comes to Instagram and things like that, when people send like texts and written things, I just turn off and then I just don't text back. But I think the best thing to do to maintain your friendships personally is just call them up, see how they're going. And personally, I'm yet to do that, but I always find myself trying to organize events, trying to organize people to like come do something. Maybe that's like big of me to say, but I think just trying to allocate the time of day to see these people and make time for them is really important. Whether that be like you get coffee sometimes, because time is important. People have work, people have uni, people have things to do, and it's not always going to be like you're by each other's side every single second of the day. Like I get that, but you just need to be switched on with your time. Using calendars is amazing. Communicating properly is really, really important as well. I find that if you communicate and you say, let's catch up at this time, this day, next week, next month, whenever, let's lock this day in. Let's make sure we have that time together, because you can't just be like, oh, let's hang.
Yeah.
And then like, oh yeah, for sure. And then that's the end of the conversation. Because when are you going to hang? You don't keep each other accountable, right?
Yeah.
And I personally want to do that with people and like actually look further ahead in my calendar and be like, okay, this time I'm free. Let's hang out then.
Yeah.
And giving them the time of day and making sure you're fully present in that moment is how I try and maintain my friendships.
Oh yeah. Yeah, being present is something
It's so important.
yeah, it's difficult. Like
It's so difficult though.
it's something like like I funnily enough, I was watching this YouTube video on like how to be charismatic and whatnot.
Oh fuck! Is that? Oh my god! No, I think he's.
Have you heard of it?
He's popped up on my recommended. It's like how to be charismatic around girls, or like how to be more confident. Is it that guy?
Charisma on command.
Yeah, that guy.
That's it. Oh my! I've had my experience with YouTubers, right? So like, I had this phase. I hope no one's heard of these people, because they're not like I wouldn't go to some of them for if you're starting
Like,
if you're starting
wait,
out.
it's like Alpha Man or like.
Oh no! Oh, you know
what's
Alpha
it?
M.
Alpha FM.
It's so bad.
No, this guy
It's so
just
bad.
yells at you.
Just don't watch him, please. If you're a young guy and you're looking for guidance, do not go to this guy. He's gonna call you a stud.
Yeah,
He's gonna be like,
No.
sexy senoritas.
Yeah, fuck. If I can draw up a photo, like either on the video or like, if you can just imagine a guy in a V-neck t-shirt in 2022 with skinny jeans, a belt, and ankle socks.
Here are 5 ways to improve your style. 5 ways.
5 ways.
and then he inserts like his promotions.
Yeah,
in the
literally.
middle.
He's like, I have a jumping rope, by the way, so if you want to get fit, like, buy my jumping rope.
Yeah, it's like the first way to get a woman is to
draws
buy
you-
my cologne.
Yeah, he draws you in with the. This is how you get a woman.
You've got to smell good. Oh my god, bro. And then so I I was young, okay, but I did watch Alpha M,
as a young male
Mm.
growing up, watching YouTube, having technology, access to those things, you're bound to come across
Yes.
Alpha FM.
You're bound to. It's gonna pop up in your recommended.
There will be a night where you are just feeling shit, and you'll be like, "How to be more confident."
Yeah.
He will pop up.
He'll be there. He'll be there for you. But trust me, you don't.
Do
want
not
that.
listen to him. Do not listen to him. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, after I went through Alpha M, I started to realize that this guy's just not it. And then I switched to TMF, and that was teaching men's fashion.
Oh, that guy.
And-
Yes, I was
and-
thinking of that guy's name.
And then this guy was like, I was like, all right, he's a bit more mature. But then, as I just started watching more and more of his videos, I'm like, this guy's just promoting. Like
Yeah.
every video is like, there's no video where it's just real talk, you know? Like I just don't get that. And
So those two male influencers have fuck tons of followers.
yeah,
I think Alpha, like whoever the fuck he is, has like 10 mil
yeah.
subscribers on YouTube, and it's just crazy how many of them would be like 14-year-old, 13-year-old guy, like boys. being
Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh my
100%.
god, this is how I'm gonna be.
No, check the comment section. No, if anyone wants to have a good laugh, just check
Just have a read.
the comment section's just like, you've saved my life.
Okay.
Jeez.
Okay, we're shitting on these people, but I actually have a few people. I've been listening to a few podcasts and like some influencers that I follow
Yeah.
who actually number one right now is probably 9 to 5 Fitness. Two blokes, Australian, chat all things like uni student life, and like just how to maintain your fitness and like how to build strength. Two young guys, very passionate, talk about lots of like mental health things, especially for young guys. Get very vulnerable on the podcast, so I very much look up to them at the moment. If you want to check them out, they actually have really good advice. As a young male, you know, sometimes you just don't get the self-help or the things that you might need to hear, and they go into a lot of really deep topics, and I guess like I want to reach that level of maturity and being like able to discuss those kind of topics, but I'm guessing by your face you haven't heard of them.
No, I haven't. 95.
9 to 5 Fitness.
Sweet.
I'll plug them there. Really good. Honestly, so good for just like any sort of young men out there with guidance. For guidance, sorry. But yeah, what were you gonna transition into? I guess like
Oh, yeah,
you went from them to charisma to
Yeah. Well, I saw Charisma and Command, and it was just like, and this goes back to being present, hey? Like, they were just talking about, like, like, these really charismatic celebrities are, like, really present in the moment. But this guy that runs the channel just, it didn't really go into, like, how to be present. And I feel like at least and I've read a couple of books on it, and they're like, they're kind of weird tips, bro. Like, they're like, twinkle your toes. Like,
what? Really?
No.
Oh,
like,
shit.
they're like, start with thinking about, like, when the other person's talking, just, like, feel grounded and, like, feel the nerves in your toes and whatnot. And I'm like, I've never tried that.
Yeah, okay, cool. I think, well, it relates back to, I guess, with Charisma, what is it, On Command?
Yeah.
It again, like, he gives lots of good tips, but he doesn't go into depth, I don't think. I think, judging by, like, a few of the videos that have come up on my feed, that I've clicked on and be like, wonder how to be more confident around girls, like that sort of stuff. Yeah. Anyway, he like the self-help book. You can pick and choose.
Yeah,
Interpret
definitely.
it how you will, sort of thing. I think that's the advice you take from self-help and like anyone that's offering advice, because realistically, you have to go out there and learn.
Yeah.
You make mistakes, you get back up. You make mistakes again, you learn from that, you get back up. That's sort of the cycle that we are in terms of living a life that's like prosperous and like fulfilling. You bounce back from mistakes, and I think that's like the ultimate like satisfaction of life, like being able to fuck up but get back again, I think.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, like something that I've just like learned recently, because was it November or December, but I think it was December. I was in this really dark time, like this place where like I've just never occupied. Things were really, really bad.
Is this 2021 or 2020?
2021.
Oh, wow.
And it was about the time, and we can get into this. The Airbnb.
If you're comfortable, man.
Yeah, 100%. Like I had, like for context, I had this party, and it was at for legal reasons. just before I get too into the topic.
Yeah. Okay.
So this
just
is
think tread
like,
lightly.
It's a fabricated story. So this is just for the podcast. This is not real in any means. So a lot of this is exaggerated as well. Right?
For content purposes. And
for content purposes only. So if Drew, you're watching, know what's up. No, but okay. So I'll get into what happened. It was my 19th birthday party, and we wanted to go somewhere special. Right? And so I basically rented out this apartment. It was really, really nice looking, very bougie. You were there.
It was quite exquisite.
It was very exquisite. It had a spa.
Very sexy, very beautiful balcony view.
Yes.
Awesome marble floors and interior design, but we won't get into much detail because we might
it might get too specific.
Gonna be vague, boys and girls, vague.
Yeah, I don't know the location. Maybe Geelong.
Oh, it's like overseas.
Yeah, I was overseas, hey. But yeah, so I invited 30 of my dedicated friends to go overseas.
Who flew during COVID times. We got our permits and everything.
So like we booked it for, and I'm assuming some people do this. Like we booked it for 4 people, and we had 30 people over. So the numbers
red flags. Red flags.
So like okay, I understand if it was like taken, like I trusted everyone there. Like the people that I invited were very mature. Like everyone was super cool, super nice. I had a lot of trust in the people there. So I didn't expect anyone to trash the place, and that's not what happened. But anyways, we during the night, actually before the night even started, when we were going to the Airbnb, so it was me and my mum, because we were gonna set up there, and we had this trolley like stacked with food. I'm like talking like absolutely stacked with food, and
like
it was
a Costco trolley.
Yeah, a Costco trolley.
Yeah,
with like, and you know those beer pong like cups.
Oh,
so we had
the
those,
red cup.
Yeah, the red cups. Right. So we had those like visibly on the outside of the trolley. So me and mum were like, all right, well, check-in time's at 2 p.m. Like, what could go wrong? We'll just check. We'll go up there. We'll go, and then as we go up, we see the host. And the host sees us, and he just looks at our trolley and looks at us. And by the way, this place is like strictly no parties, right? This place is strictly no parties. And then he's like, "You guys aren't holding a party, are you?" And we're like, "No, no,
we're just giving you some cups."
Yeah, we're like, "What? You mean these 2 sushi platters stacked of sushi and this cake, these 3 cakes, and these red cups? No, we're not throwing a party." So I was like, no, but mum was a lot faster thinking. She was like, it's my husband's anniversary, husband and my anniversary, and I was like, okay. Deep breaths. And then the Airbnb host was like, oh, okay, just make sure no parties, because this is strictly no parties. So he said that again. Anyways, we go in, we set up, everyone starts arriving, and I get a message from my phone. The Airbnb host is like, you know this is no parties, right? We have very strict policies on that.
Just so you know.
Yeah, just if I didn't make that clear enough already. And then I was like, then I replied to him, and I'm like, yeah, like 100%, no parties at all. No way. That's the last thing I would do. And
Oh
then
no,
more
he's
and more
in, mate.
people-
Your rice purity score is going down.
like more people start arriving, and like a lot of people at this party haven't met each other, so it was different. It was a lot of a mix of different friend groups,
Like
and,
different circles.
and like as people get to know each other, like it's a lot of talking, like it's more loud, and so as like the room becomes more and more loud, the more I start to like shit myself, right? Because I'm like holy shit, I did not imagine 30 people to sound like this.
And
Right.
again, marble floors.
Yeah, the marble
Not
floor.
acoustic foam or blanket covered.
No.
So noise travels.
Yeah, noise. Okay, so just a little more context. We were situated on actually, let me skip
Are
that
you gonna
detail.
retract that? Yeah, I was
Skip that
about to be
detail.
like.
You could hear us from two rooms away. I'll say that. And this story is purely exaggerated as well. So.
Your mum and dad are having a good time.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
Yeah, mum and dad were
Having the time of their life with their anniversary.
so romantic. We ate so much. And so what happened was, yeah, the sound got louder. At one point in the night, like a neighbor actually shouted at us. They were like keep the fucking noise down. And then and like we were all actually like, again, we weren't the actual party like rowdy type. Like this was a lot of people's like first times in terms of parties or like gatherings more, I should say. And so we shut up, you know, because it was the night time. Like we understood that not like people want to sleep, you know. So we wake up and then we get like threats and like from the host, and they're like, oh, we know you threw a party. Like we're gonna, if you even leave a bit of rubbish, we're gonna sue. And then so we pack up. We leave the place exactly as it was, and we head out. Like when I'm talking exactly how it was like immaculate. Like maybe we cleaned it so much that it might have been even more clean than how we entered. You know, like it was spotless. And then yeah. So we got this $6,000 fine. It was like $6,000 fine.
$6,000?
They tried to claim for $6,000.
Holy fuck.
And it was like $5,000 for the marble floor, and $1,000 for the jacuzzi. Now, I could understand noise claims or something like that, but okay, we're 19 years old. What are we gonna do to a marble floor, right? Like no, to my knowledge,
deadlift competition.
yeah, no,
Just slamming weights.
to my knowledge, no one was deadlifting. Like, no one was running a construction site inside the Airbnb.
Someone brought a jackhammer.
like that. No, like the claims are just bullshit, and like And even on the jacuzzi, like apparently they found like cigarettes in the filter, and like no one there smokes. Okay, like no one there smoked, and it was just bottomless claims. And I actually like went on Reddit to see if this was a common thing, and apparently it is. So
sorry to jump in. I'll let you continue. But I recently went to like down by the beach side, had an Airbnb. With like sort of the DSA committee and everything. We left, and apparently, yeah, people actually just charge you like cleanup fines and all these different like legal actions are taken. Like you can add on top like fines, and then they add up into money, and then that's extra on top of like what you pay, like the original fee.
Yeah.
Is that what you were about to say? Or
it was like, well, ours is like they didn't really try and make us pay for extra cleanup like they did for you.
Right, but like damages, like
yeah,
do they just claim for damages?
They were like, oh, the marble floor's like tarnished because you spilled alcohol in it. Like,
wait, but how does
and
it?
I did the scientific research. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't ruin it at all.
Wouldn't it just like sit there
yeah,
and then dry out and it'd be
yeah.
sticky?
Yeah, or yeah, something like that, right? But it wouldn't like completely ruin the marble floor so fast like that, you know? Especially over like what, one night? No way. And they took photos of like where it was quote unquote tarnished, right? And okay, like those spots that they took photos of, we didn't spill any alcohol on the like floor, like, and the spots that they took off, like we certainly didn't, you know. So it was like really bottomless. But you were saying with like your claims.
Yeah, they was just saying like there was shit on the ceiling.
Oh, what?
I was like, how?
Like, did you refute that?
I don't know the ins and outs of it. I think a part of the committee has like sorted it all out and stuff, but apparently it is quite common, and because we're young, because we're uni students and don't really know any better, like finally getting a taste of freedom, people might take advantage of you and be like, no, you fucked this up. Like, this is broken. So that's why you gotta like take photos of everything before you go into the house.
Yeah, 100%. That's what
after you leave the house as well. You have to take photos and make sure that this is how we left it. This is how it arrived as well. Nothing else can like be wrong.
Yeah.
So that's a tip for you people if you're ever hosting an Airbnb and break the rules. Like
that is a smart way to do it.
I think we broke the rules too because we just touched toes, but
that's fine.
Yeah, because we broke the rules as well. It was like, oh, we only have 10 people. We had like 20.
Yeah.
So like it's not good on our part, but at the same time, I don't know. You know, you got to party.
Yeah. Like, one of my mates was just like, this isn't the first time there's been a party here. Like at the spot we both were at, you know, like this place has probably had tons of parties. You know, like you just look at the place and you know it's like prime party place. You know,
it was such a nice place, open area, indoor and outdoor. Good easy access to kitchen area. Like wasn't dangerous. Like you couldn't spill something and then like everyone in that area would be like,
yeah.
Oh, fuck,
yeah,
shit. Easy access to bathrooms, jacuzzi, everything you need.
Super spacious.
Spacious. That's it for a party. People who don't know each other, you can mingle.
Yeah, and we were like we knew we had more than the allowed people, and we were like super conscious about like keeping the place clean was the first thing, and then like loud, like noise. We didn't like play speakers after like 11 p.m. So like we were still like very conscious about that, but like of course noise through like talking is very hard to control. But yeah, that was definitely an experience. Like that was part of the darkest moment because they were like, because this like claiming stuff, trying to claim for 6K, and like the back and forth between you and the host, that goes on for like 2 months. Like
you were back and forth for 2 months.
Well, first you're gonna be talking to the host, and then they're gonna switch you to Airbnb's like customer service, and it is the most I don't know. Maybe if you're like 40 years old, like you've been through some stuff, you're not that stressed. But for me, like I'm just 19. Like I'm talking to like these really like old people, right? So like I'm like, holy shit. It was such a lesson though. Like I felt so stressed in the first 2 weeks. I was like, maybe in the first month, I was so stressed about making, like I was gonna pay for it, but like the whole amount if I needed to, right? But like just having that on my conscience and like having my family, like thinking about my family as a whole and us losing 6K as a whole just made me feel like really shit.
Oh, for sure. And I think that shows your maturity as well. Like you understand, you've acknowledged your mistake, obviously.
Yeah,
or like
100%.
not even like a mistake, like you tried your absolute best, and like it's just heartbreaking when you have like a 6K, and like for some people that might be like cents, but for most people and a majority of people as well, like in our demographic, that's a lot of money.
That's a fuck. Like I'll tell you, like when I got the email that they were trying to like claim for 6K, I legit like I grabbed at my hair and I just like fell back in my chair. I was like, how am I gonna sleep tonight? Like I've got to tell my mum and dad that they're trying to claim.
Yeah,
for 6K,
I was just about to ask how did you go about? Like,
so
it's like when you smash a vase or something, but this one's like a 6K vase.
This one's like a 6K.
This is like you spill your like grandma's cremations or something.
Yeah. It was so I react like I found it in my room and I'm like okay, because this was like the night that we checked. Actually, sorry, this was the afternoon we checked out, right? So they
were that quick.
They were that quick to evaluate the cost, which is okay.
That's cap.
Their reasoning for evaluating the cost was my best estimate.
See, and that's why people like
Yeah.
launder off other people, like other like naive and like people who are non-confrontational and won't stand up for themselves.
Yeah.
They just take advantage of them
Yeah,
because they'll be like,
100%.
well, to my best estimate, this stain on the floor costs 20K
Yeah.
minimum.
The cleaning products that I acquired to clean that stain were like top notch. Like we're talking premium quality here.
They actually did a collaboration with like Gucci or some shit.
Yeah,
like,
so I used Louis Vuitton alcohol to clean it up. Anyway, so so I was like, this was the afternoon that I found, like the afternoon that we checked out, and they evaluated it in like what 3 hours, and so you know when you go home from like a party, and you're still kind of like disheveled, you've got like bags that have got like clothes and whatnot, you're like your body's dirty, you haven't showered, you've had a couple of drinks like the night before, so that was the state I was in.
okay.
And so when I opened this email, I'm like, yeah, I had some really dark thoughts. Yeah, I was like, shh, like I'm ready. And then
No way, Steven.
no, because
really?
something else happened during the night. 'Cause
Okay.
someone I liked was just, I felt like they were just avoiding me. Like I didn't get a chance to talk to him. So like, and that person was like, yeah, I was just super anxious about that relationship, that friendship and that relationship. And so that anxiety mixed with this whole new bulk of anxiety from Airbnb just made me like really, really, really feel like the weight of the world was on me, and some family stuff as well.
We don't have to go into that if you're not comfortable. Like,
Oh
whatever you're
yeah, it was just
comfortable
it was just with parents, like some stuff that that I found out and that I didn't really like. So all of that was like on me, like three pretty big things were on me,
Mm.
and so I just collapsed in my chair, and then I just I was like, what do I do? And in moments like these, two things came to my mind, like Avatar: The Last Airbender was something I watched growing up. All right,
I love this transition. I'm sorry.
this quote will always stick with me, and I'm not gonna read the quote word for word, but the essence of it was like, in your darkest times, you're most open to change, and you should give yourself inner hope, inner strength. Okay, but really focusing on that most open to change, I feel is like
I love that.
huge.
I love it.
Yeah. Like when you're at your lowest low, that's when you have nothing to lose, and you could just pull a 180. You could just flip, change,
Mhm.
you know? And that's something that I gripped onto. I was like, okay, things are really, really bad now. I feel like I'm at my lowest low. However, it's up to me. Like I have the power to change this, right? Like yes, I can sit here and I could lie on my bed and I could be worried about it. But how about I try to do something about it? How about I try to go on Reddit, see if people have similar stories? Maybe I'm not alone, you know? Maybe I'm not alone in this Airbnb fight. And I wasn't, because like people have, like there was a story where some guy like had issues with an air conditioner, and they tried to claim 9K for it. And it was crazy. Like I found out I wasn't alone. And I picked myself up and I did what I could to get back on my feet. And it's like, so that comes to mind, that quote from Avatar, from Uncle Iroh, right? And the second thing that helped me through it was my sister. She is like the most self-assured person like I've ever met. She's so confident in her advice giving and her opinions that it makes you feel safe, and
Like it gives you hope.
it gives you so much hope. It makes you feel like nothing's gonna touch you because she said it, you know? Like just because she thinks nothing's gonna happen, it's almost like you know nothing's gonna happen just because she said it. So that's like her and that Uncle Ara quote were just like really helping me through that.
Talk to us a bit about your sister.
Yeah, my sister.
What kind of a person is she? She sounds like someone that it sounds like someone that inspires you.
Yeah, she does, definitely. She's I mean, don't get me wrong. We're siblings, 2 years apart. We have our fights. But she's definitely someone I really admire and look up to. She's very competitive. So she will. Okay, here's the thing with my sister. If she knows she won't win at a game, she won't play the game. She will not lose. Like, that's her motto, not losing. Only wins. Okay, so she won't participate if she knows she won't get a guaranteed win. So she's in that way, she's not a gambler. Okay, she's very safe, and she's also like very hardworking. She'll be very tough on herself if she doesn't get what she was going for, the goal that she was trying to achieve. If she doesn't get it, she thinks it's the end of the world. That's how seriously she takes it. Like, if she doesn't get a certain grade, or if she doesn't get a certain job position, she's like, it's it, I'm done. I'm gonna like, I'm gonna commit. and then I'm like, because I've been rejected from a job before, and I'm like, okay, on to the next one. And I think a lot of people have that mindset.
Yeah, I think, and nothing against your sister. I think the do or die mentality sometimes can be taken too far.
100%.
I don't think it's a sustainable move or mindset to be in. I think in life there are ebbs and flows. You have to go through like ups and downs in order to reach your dream. I don't think like it's always an upward trajectory. So like props to your sister. I'm sure she's like like a very high achieving student and like is very diligent and can achieve all these things. I think just having that growth mindset and that like humility, I think, and being able to be vulnerable and take your losses sometimes, take it on the chin, but move on is an important skill. But how did she help you in this situation? I guess like providing that light, providing that guidance, or did you take this one by yourself? You're sort of like, nah, fuck this. This is my issue. I'm gonna fix it.
She gave me a lot of opinions on the Airbnb situation, the situation with that friendship, and they were honest opinions, which I could really see, but it also helped that they were like in my favor. So she didn't believe that anything would come out of the Airbnb situation. She was like, she believed that I would get over it, and that at the end of the day they had no grounds for the claims. And with the other situation, she was just like, hey, it's unfortunate what you went through, but I think you'll move on to find another person. So yeah.
That's awesome. I want to touch back on the person that you were talking to, or like had sort of crush, secret admiration towards, and maybe delve into your what was your mentality throughout that, and maybe even throughout like past relationships, I guess.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're comfortable.
I mean, past relationships has always been a source of, I've noticed that they've made me change a lot as a person in terms of growth, and I was actually this goes back to creative writing. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if this is appropriate thing to write about. But I hope, and I'm not hoping to I'm not sure if I should, because I'm not on good terms with all of the people that I've liked in the past. But I was actually thinking of you. Do you know the book To All the Guys I've Ever Loved?
No, I don't actually.
It's a pretty I don't know if that's the correct title. It's definitely along those lines. To all the guys.
Yeah, like something loved. Like a oh fuck you, or like a I miss you or something.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I haven't read
enough.
it.
Okay.
You haven't read it? I haven't read it. I've seen the title. I'm like, damn, that's a busting title. I'm like, that's sick as. Yeah. So I'm like, because I've had my fair share of crushes, I guess, and I was thinking of writing a book that was To All the Girls I've Ever Loved.
I respect that. I respect that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's a bit it's a bit I gotta be very it takes a leap into being vulnerable and being emotional in this book. But yeah, so I'll tell you about this situation with that person. we'll call her Maddie.
Maddie.
We'll
Awesome.
call her Maddie. Yeah. So me and Maddie met in May, and May, and from the start she actually looked like this girl I had a crush on in year 7. and this was like the hugest. This was my first crush ever, right? And I had a huge crush on this girl in year 7, like for 2 years. 2 years, a 2-year crush, and I didn't talk to her.
Oh my god!
I was so scared. I was so scared, and so when I like met Maddie, who looked a lot like her, I was like, wow. I was like,
Oh no!
I was like, no, it was so immature. It was really, really off looks, and I just felt compelled to get to know her because I was like,
like to make up for the girl that you never got a chance to speak to.
Yeah, I never got a chance to get to know that girl because she was actually from my tuition group and she just moved away from it. So with Maddie, I was like, oh, I'm kind of like interested to see who is this person, you know? And so yeah, I got to know her and she was a really nice person, but my gut was like off the bat just telling me I don't think you're compatible with this person, you know? And I should have listened to my gut, but I think I was just like too caught up in like looks, which is really like it's really shitty.
It's a
really
shitty
shallow.
thing, I think. And sorry to cut you off.
No,
I think
okay.
as young men or young people in general, we're very, and like growing up in a generation where social media is such a powerful outlet and image is so important, and how you look determines like what people think of you, all these different factors. Of course we're going to fall into the ideology that like, well, I want to be talking to someone who's attractive. And like, yeah, like you want an attractive like partner, you want someone who you enjoy, I guess, smooching or doing the sexy time with. But I think as you grow up, you mature, and it boils down more to like, how do they support you and your well-being? How do they lift you up? How do you support them as well? Are they good for you? Do they lift you up? Do they lift you down? I feel like I just went on about support like 3 points, but are they good for you?
Yeah, 100%.
Do they make you a better person? Those sorts of things. Those intricacies, and they're really deep topics, but you grow up and you start to appreciate those things a lot more, I think.
Yeah,
So
100%.
it's a good learning experience, that one, like just seeing someone for their looks. But continue, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's all good. I definitely did see her for her looks at the start, and but I like halfway through, I guess I just took a step back and I was like, this is, like I realized that's a side of myself, and I was like, this is kind of like unfair to that person, you know, and so I took a lot more of like a reflection on like, why do I like this person, and what I try to like, well, not really tried, but what I just realized was, hey, this person actually makes me like a lot better of a person. Like they made me a lot more organized, and yeah, they just made me like focus on studies more, like prep a lot more for exams. Not only so that I could help like her and the others around me, but like for myself as well. So definitely in like university, she helped a lot. But what I should have also realized was that, yes, she's helped. She's like helped me, and she's been emotional support as well. But I should have realized that there was just no romantic like kind of air to that, you know. And so like at one point, I started doing a lot of favors actually. So I was like, she was sick one time, and and this was like pretty simp behavior for me, but
We love a good simp.
Yeah, she was like really sick, and then I actually went to my Coles, and I got her a bunch of like medicine that treated that sickness, and like fruits and whatnot, and then I drove up to her house to give it to her, and I do a lot of other favors here and there, and then it just got. I don't think I should have done that, because then
Do you feel like you're sending the wrong signal?
I think I sent a signal from doing that already.
Yeah.
No, she knew. She knew that I liked her, but I think it wasn't a good idea, because when you do too much for someone, there's always like there's it should purely come out of a like a goodwill kind of thing, and I thought that was the case for me, that I was doing it out of like goodwill, and I certainly was in that moment. It's just that as these things start to like, as these favors start to accumulate, and as you start to like, I guess invest more in the relationship, you do start to feel like you're expecting a bit more from the other person, which is not good.
I can definitely relate with that. I've had a lot of past relationships where, you know, you give, and then you start to like nothing changes from their end, but because you're just giving so much, you expect more. And then I think as a generation growing up, we tend to expect things a lot more, and I don't know where it's come from, but it's just this. Do you remember OB, the expectancy theory?
Oh,
Shit like that.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember that.
That's how Stephen and I met. I feel like we didn't even go through that. But
No, I didn't.
yeah, like things like that. It's like, I'm doing all these things. Why aren't you giving back to me?
Yeah,
Those sorts of things. I completely relate with that, and I think at some points, like in my life, that's led to breakdown in relationships or friendships as well. And it's quite narcissistic, actually.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm not calling you a narcissist or myself one, but it's a tendency, and it's like a really shit behavior that I don't even know where it stems from.
Yeah. Like, I felt so shitty that I was expecting things.
Yeah.
Like, this person doesn't owe me shit, and like, why am I expecting shit from them? So I was just like, God damn it, I gotta stop this, and I did, and I try to like focus more on the friendship aspect a lot more, and not do these sort of like huge favors so much. Yeah. But what I found was like, it just didn't seem like they wanted to be friends, you know, at the end of the day. Because, yeah, I actually sent, like, 2 messages, and then they just, like, kind of, like, reacted, and then just didn't reply. So it just felt like, yeah, it was an 8-month friendship that kind of...
Just cut at ends.
Yeah, and it was, to be honest, it was, like, it was painful. There was a period of time where I was like, how am I going to get over this? This is like
in a way you were dating. No. Actually, that's a bad wording.
No.
In a way it felt like a breakup.
Yeah, a friendship breakup. And it was tough because I wanted to rekindle that friendship, but that wasn't reciprocal.
For sure. We've got a few, like, we've gone really good for time. But we have a, like, last topic, I guess. You've got growth written down, and I think this ties in really nicely. You talk about, I guess, like, being desperate and being a fuckboy. Like, do you want to expand on those points?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we can go from there.
Well, this is like a turning point in my life, actually. Yeah, in like year 10.
The classic, yeah.
Where everything went down, man. Like
Year 10,
it was horrible. I came from a school that just, like, I don't know, I just didn't really have many interests in people then, but when I came to this new school, I was like a lot more interested in people, and like, I guess I kind of like focused on like getting a relationship and all that. And so it was horrible, man. Like, I was like really, really desperate. I was like not talking to like more than one girl at once, but like, I would like a girl, I would talk to her, and then I'd like, after like 2 weeks, I'd move on to someone new, and that was like so shit.
Oh fuck.
That was actually so bad. And I'd be like, even around like the boys, like, I'd be talking about like girls, you know, like, when, you know, like, there are other stuff to talk about, you know. And
it's that locker room conversation that lots of young men have had, regretfully.
Yeah.
And it's disappointing because we want to be respectful, and especially in this day and age, like, things are progressing a lot smoother. Lots of people are becoming more aware of like general courtesy and common courtesy towards women or everyone in general. And I think as young men, growing up, we I don't know, we surround ourselves with lots of shit conversations and really just objectifying, misogynistic conversations. I don't know if that's like the pathway you're going down, but I just know from personal experience they've just been like really just like, would you say that with your mum there? Absolutely not. Personally,
It wasn't misogynistic. It was more like I just have this crush on this new girl. And like,
okay, fuck. Okay, I just read I read too hard into that then.
Yeah.
Never mind.
No, that's okay. No, that's okay. I don't like, I was not being misogynistic, and I would never, like, I don't think I've ever like stepped on that side of the line.
It's just awkward to be a part of. That's my like ick. I'm just like, really? Like, do you actually want to say that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you find yourself falling into this rabbit hole of like
Just
only talking about girls?
Yeah. Like, I would just have a crush on a new girl, and like, it would just be bad, man. Like, it would really, really like I was so unaware of like people like getting annoyed at it, because like I wouldn't say it's like it was like 90% of what I talked about, I'm guessing. But what really made me appreciate this like learning experience was that one of my friends at the time like stopped me at like a recess or lunch, and they just told me like, hey, because I was part of a big like kind of Asian group at that point, and they just stopped me and they're like, hey, like, just so you know, like, the group's been a bit like upset with you, or like annoyed at you, because you've been like talking about like having crushes and girls all the time like that. We're just really annoyed at that, and I think you shouldn't do that because it comes off as like really fuckboy and desperate behavior. And I had no idea at all that was the case, that the group felt that way. And so when I heard that, I was just like so grateful. I did feel like a little hurt, of course, but the feeling of gratefulness just overwhelmed it like significantly. I was like, holy shit, like, that is like, now taking a step back and reflecting, you are so right, and the group's so right. And I just like it kind of like, I took a step where I just didn't talk about like girls, and like even like the girls in that group, I just didn't talk to them, you know, like, I just wanted to give everyone a lot of space in that regard.
Fair enough. Did you feel ashamed of yourself?
100%. Yeah. I felt so ashamed. I was like, it was a positively, a positive, almost like a positive scar.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think, dating back all the way to the conversation that we've had, we've talked about confrontation as like a really healthy turning point.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you've just brought up.
100%.
Confrontation leaves, like you said, a healthy scar.
Yeah.
You feel a bit ashamed. You feel a bit like, oh fuck. Like, it takes you off guard because sometimes you just don't know your behaviors.
Yeah.
And you just do it subconsciously. Like, this is normal. But props to your friends.
Huge props to him. If it wasn't for him, I'd probably still be a lot more socially stupid. And like a lot more of a dickhead, to be honest. Yeah.
So the fact that he could even like build up that courage and like approach you and be like, hey man, like, this isn't cool, can you stop, shows that they're truly like a good friend. Yeah,
100%. That was a very, like, I appreciate that act so much. Like, it was it was definitely a 180 switch in character, to be honest. And like, there were more moments where I grew, I think. Like, certainly from experiences, like, with, like, after that stage where I kind of like took time and like just like didn't associate with girls, like, when I did have a crush on a girl after that, like that was like that taught me a lot, you know. And like even friendships have taught me a lot, like about like being honest, you know. Like sometimes like the extent of honesty is something that I've always like thought about, because there was this one time where I was with mates on a train, and like I'd tell this joke, and I was like, this isn't a really good joke, like it wasn't really that funny. But this one of my friends was just like, he was just like, you're not funny, like like that, like just straight to my face. And I was like so quiet after that, because like everyone, it was such a like, you know, like there were other jokes going around that were funny, and people like laughing, and like I think everyone was like, I don't really mind, but everyone's probably gonna fake laugh over my joke. And I wouldn't mind that, you know. But it was such a weird moment when that happened, like you're not funny. And then even my mate that was like sitting next to me was like, yo, like you didn't need to say that, bro. That was kind of rude. And so like lessons I've learned from friendships, treating friends as well, like yeah, definitely a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, I keep saying like as you grow up and all those things, but like as you grow up, you'll learn that honesty is like truly important.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think we've all had our fair share of just like internalizing a lot of things and not saying it, but I think the best way to do it is just verbalize it, be honest. You do reap the rewards, and as uncomfortable and as awkward as it can get, the benefits are like so much better.
Yeah, 100%.
I remember in lots of relationships and even friendships as well, like sometimes you just hold back and you're like I'm feeling some sort of way, but I don't say it, I don't communicate it.
Yeah.
More recently, and especially with I think Issachar, like, is really good communicating, being honest with how you feel in the moment, no matter how shitty or like petty it might sound. Obviously, like pettiness, like you go to a certain extent, you should stop. But yeah, just having honest conversations, and I think, so I work at Lululemon, we do like clearings, and this is a time to sort of just express how you feel. It's a moment, it's a time capsule where you express what you're feeling, what your mental's like, do you want to be on the floor serving customers? Are you in the right headspace, and those sorts of things? And that's something that I think I want to implement with friendships. Like, are you actually okay with this? Like, are you comfortable? Like right now, like as we're talking, are we okay?
Yeah.
Like those sorts of things. Like those check-ins mean like they're small, and you might overlook them because they're small, but they mean the absolute world to like not only myself, but I'm sure like your mates who are out there and might not talk or like speak as openly until you offer them the opportunity and create that safe space for them to sort of verbalize how they're feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just something that I really truly appreciate about honesty. And it's like sometimes you have to learn that the hard way. Sometimes you could listen to a podcast and
yeah,
potentially
and
learn
pick that up.
Yeah, exactly. But
yeah, like I really fuck with those check-ins, and like honesty is such like the something I learned with honesty is that, because I've always thought, and a lot of people go to me like, hey Steve, like I've got this situation going on, like what should I do? And they'll have a number of ways to approach that situation, and I've certainly been in situations where like I could do this, I could do that, or I could say this, I could say that. But the best thing that I've always learned is like, if you're honest, if you're 100% honest, you'll have no regrets. Like, because that will be the best decision that you could have done, that the best outcome that could have happened. It's the honest outcome. It's the right outcome, right? It's like yes, it's like you could have misconstrued the truth in a little bit, like twisted the truth in a little bit that might have benefited you in the short term, right? Or you could have like said this instead and left this part out, and it could have like benefited your personal image before that person. But like, it's either gonna come back at you, right? It's either gonna come back at you, or that's just gonna speak to the warrior that's listening inside of you. That person inside of you is just gonna see this dishonesty in you and be like, is that the type of person we are? Are we this dishonest person? And so it's like, the best way to approach things is just pure honesty, in my opinion. Like, that's it. And I say that like it's hard. Like I still
Oh,
struggle with
it's
it.
it's
Like, to
such
this day.
a
It's so hard.
it's not even a vulnerable position. It's more just the discomfort you feel from having to actually verbalize and be like, hey, that's not cool. Or
Mm.
like, I don't like that. When we're in a society that double taps everything. Oh, I like that on Instagram. I like that on TikTok. Those sorts of things. And like, if you're against the grain, it's sort of like, it's not cool. It's not in fashion. It's so hard to just break that barrier. But as soon as you do, it's so freeing. And as soon as you start speaking your mind and communicating and doing these clearings, you just feel like a different person.
Yeah, 100%. And you let off so much anxiety from it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Like when I think a good example is a friend's like bantering, and I say in quotation marks, like they're literally putting you down,
Yeah.
such as that person that you met at the start.
Yeah.
But they're actually your friend,
Yeah.
and they're putting you down constantly, and you're like, ha ha ha, like you're laughing along, and you're being dishonest to yourself because you fucking hate it.
Yeah.
You absolutely hate it, and you despise every word that they say, even though they're your friend. And
Yeah.
like it might be out of goodwill, but if you don't say anything and you keep internalizing it, you're gonna one day just explode,
Yeah.
and it's just gonna ruin that friendship. Whereas if you approach the situation and be proactive to that situation and be honest and be like, hey man, like, do you mind if like, I don't know, you just like quit putting me down, like I just don't feel good about it.
Yeah.
Those conversations are so hard to have, but you have them, and in the long term, like you said, you reap the rewards. And I
Yeah.
think karma is like so intertwined with honesty. Like if you're dishonest with yourself or
100%.
dishonest with other people, it will come back to bite you.
Yeah.
Things just don't rest easy when you're dishonest, whereas if you're honest with everything, and there's a difference between being honest and being blunt. Like,
Yeah.
don't be an asshole.
Yeah, don't be an
Don't
asshole.
be an asshole.
Don't just be like, you're not funny.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah,
yo,
like,
yo,
no,
that's,
it seems
like,
like-
read the room. That still hurts, bro. Come on. Yo.
It's like, don't tell me I'm not funny.
Yeah, please, come on.
Just crying.
Keep that to yourself, man.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm trying.
No, but like, yeah, just don't be blunt or rude. I guess it's like that, being able to read the room. But
Yeah.
if you speak from your perspective, hey, this is not making me feel cool. Not, hey, you should stop doing that because it's shit on your behalf. Just speak from how you feel. How do you feel in that situation? How's that making you feel? Be honest with yourself. Be honest to the person that you might be talking to.
Yeah.
Reap the rewards. Trust.
Yeah, and this is how I go about it. Whenever I want to bring up something with a friend, I like speak in very simple terms, like, hey, I'm sad because and
Yeah,
then
exactly.
I'll just really tell like what happened and like what I felt from it.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
And then, yeah.
whenever you speak from, oh god, I'm fucking horrible at grammar and like what the names are for like like pronouns. No, like,
Pronouns,
No,
actually.
pronouns are like he, him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No,
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 I'm
no.
horrible too.
Yeah, I don't even know. When you speak from your first person perspective and
Yeah.
say, I'm feeling XYZ. Like, it sounds stupid in theory when we're talking about it, but like, I think when you speak from yourself and how you truly feel, people have, well, good people anyway, have no choice but to sort of respect that.
Yeah.
And they can do whatever they want with it because you're not offending them. You're not insulting them. You're just speaking how you feel.
Yeah.
And I think that's such an important lesson to learn.
Yeah, 100%. It's like listing out how you feel in like the most simple way.
Yeah.
Like just trying to not send the wrong message. Just yeah.
How do you feel? That's how you
Exactly.
That's how you narrow it down. Anyway, mate, we might have to do a second episode because this one's gone for God knows how long. I might call it there, but
Right, so
all your social medias will be in the link.
perfect.
Oh,
Yep.
in the show notes, sorry. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. And if you want Stephen on, mate, shoot me a DM. But
100%.
any closing words?
I would say that growth and lessons in life, like take them, like it's look on the bright side of situations that don't look so good. Try to see a bright side or look at it from a different angle, and really do everything in your power to get yourself back up because you're more powerful than you think, and there's more ways than you think that you could deal with that situation. And I'd also say, like, if someone is around you is changing and they're growing, like, yeah, boost them up. You know, like don't shit on them for like, hey, why are you changing as a person? You know, like encourage that. Encourage this mindset of growth more. That's what I'd say.
For sure. I love that. And that's such a good segue to close, or such a good departing note to leave on. And we hope to see you soon. Hope to see you soon, actually. I feel like we skipped over a few topics, but we'll be back and better than ever. Be sure to follow at Life With Lam podcast on Instagram. And Spotify actually lets you rate the show, so please drop it a 5-star. Shoot us a review on Apple Podcasts, and we'll see you in the next episode.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.